Hello, I'll be starting off our poster presentation on the association between sleep duration and mental health disparities in disaggregated Asian Americans. About one-third of Americans suffer from insufficient sleep, which is about less than 7 hours of sleep. Asian Americans specifically report higher prevalence of insufficient sleep than non-Hispanic whites. Insufficient sleep has been linked with a high risk for psychological distress. So due to these correlations and associations, we explore the association between sleep insufficiency, which is less than 7 hours, and psychological distress quantified by the Kessler Psychological Distress Scale, or K6, in Asian Americans in the US.
For the method, we used all the NHES data, which is the National Health Interview Survey data. We collect all the correspondence from 2006 to 2018. We include all the Asian subgroups, including Chinese, Filipino, Asian Indian, other Asians, and we use non-Hispanic white as our reference group. And then we included all the people who responded to questions on sleep duration and K6. We defined insufficient sleep as less than 7 hours, and we defined severe psychological distress as K6 value greater than 13.
Our first part of the results analyzes the prevalence of sleep insufficiency, and we found that overall, our cohort had a prevalence of 33% and was the highest for Filipinos at 38.4% and the lowest for Asian Indians at 24.5%. We also analyzed the prevalence of psychological distress and found that overall there was a prevalence of 4%, highest for non-Hispanic whites at 3.47%, and the lowest for Asian Indians at 1.18%.
Then we did a multivariable analysis. We did the logistic regression on between insufficient sleep and psychological distress. We found that insufficient sleep is correlated with increased K6 score, which is the increased psychological distress with a prevalence ratio of 2.53 after fully adjusted for all the other covariables. And in the stratified analysis, we found that insufficient sleep is correlated with K6 score with variable prevalence ratio in different Asian subgroups. So you can see here, Chinese, Filipino, Asian Indian, other Asians all have different prevalence ratios between sleep and severe psychological distress. So as a conclusion, we conclude that insufficient sleep is associated with psychological distress, and this relationship varies among Asian American subgroups. And we believe that this is the reason why considering the heterogeneity of Asian Americans in sleep and psychological distress is very important. And that concludes our poster presentation.